Hello boys and girls, it's time to catch up on some Boruto news, and the first bit of news I have is that a new trailer was released, which is our very first glimpse at this new Boruto anime that will premiere on April 5th. I think I've said that before on multiple occasions. Remember, April 5th is actually a Wednesday, not a Thursday, so they're changing that schedule up for the new Boruto anime. Now, to be quite honest, we don't really get much from the trailer. In fact, it's not really a trailer to begin with. It's more of like a TV commercial for the anime. But we do get to see familiar faces. We have Hinata Himawari. We see Boruto hanging out with Shikadai eating a cheeseburger at some point. It seems like they're riding a train in one of those scenes. And I think this is the biggest one. Well, two things. There's a shot of Naruto looking very concerned, reading like a paper, so I thought that was interesting, because I mean, ever since he became Hokage, I don't think that I've ever seen him look this concerned, but then that's kind of like, I guess, implicating that there's going to be a lot of trouble in the upcoming future, which makes sense, because you can't have a story without conflict. And then we have this new character that we see here with the glasses. As of this moment, I'm still confused as to whether or not he's a boy or a girl. But he looks more like a guy to me, so I'm just going to go ahead and call him a he. Just based off of his facial expressions, he also seems kind of shy. It just seems like he's just either depressed or just, moping around. So maybe something bad happened to him. And it also seems like Boruto is kind of showing him the ropes. Kind of seems like, like Boruto is kind of like this guide for him for some reason. So automatically, I got to be honest, the first time I saw this character, I was like, is this like a filler character? It did kind of feel like this was some type of a filler character, because at this point in time, it's like, if this is actually canon, and that's a question that I still have, because the Boruto manga, as we know, is monthly, right? And if the anime, I'm assuming, is going to keep a weekly sort of consistent basis, right? If it's going to keep coming up every single week, then at some point the anime is going to surpass the manga. In fact, very, very soon. And so, is this filler or is this canon? Is this actually a character that will be introduced in the upcoming chapter of the manga for Boruto? We don't know. But if he is introduced in the manga, then it's pretty logical and reasonable to assume that this new character may have some connection to Kawaki. Okay, but why else would he be there in the very first episode of the series? I just don't understand. That might even be him under some type of transformation jutsu or some shit. I don't know. So I can't wait to see what happens. The trailer, actually, I'm going to leave the link for it in the description. I have to say that despite the fact that we didn't get a lot of information, the animation looks great. I hope that's consistent throughout the entire series, because it just looks so good. And then if you actually watch the trailer, you hear some music in the background. That is actually the theme song for the first Boruto New Generations opening. So that's actually the opening song that you're hearing in the background. It's called Baton Road, like passing on the baton, I guess, because it makes sense, because it's going from Naruto to Boruto, so Boruto gets the baton. The song is actually performed by Kana-Boon, and they're the same band behind opening Silhouette, the opening of Naruto Shippuden that goes like da na 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 na. Yeah, you get that. And then also they're also behind Driver, which is basically the song that plays in the ending credits of Boruto. The one that goes da na 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 na. You get what I'm saying, right? As of right now, from having watched the trailer and listening to the song, I'm not really feeling the opening music. I'm just not. Got to keep it 100%. Got to keep it real. And I guess it's because I'm when it comes to Naruto, I've always really enjoyed like the heavier, like rock sounding themes. Like, I'll just give you an example. My favorite theme opening of all time from Naruto is Signed by Flow. I love that piece. It was just such a great, iconic, both visually and musically, it was just such a great opening. Realize the screaming pain. Oh my god, that was amazing. So, yeah. But then again, like, this was just a snippet, so maybe my mind will change once I actually get the opening in its full form and just listen to it and like see the visuals for it. But yeah, so again, not a whole lot from this commercial. Actually, it just occurred to me that new character that we see with Boruto in the commercial may be Mitsuki in disguise as well. And then maybe he's doing it because he's afraid that he won't fit in, or that people will ask him about where he's from or more about his background, and he's just ashamed. I also want to mention something about the Naruto Shippuden anime, because I think I figured out how they're going to be handling the transition over to Boruto. So this week, which is March 16th, is like the final build-up episode to the wedding. Then next week, March 23rd, which is also the day that Power Rangers comes out. Go, go, Power Rangers! No, I'm just kidding. So next week is the actual event itself. It's the actual wedding of Naruto and Hinata. Then there's a week, all right? And then after that week, we start the new Boruto anime. So, in my opinion, what I think they're going to be doing is that we're going to have the wedding, and after the wedding, we're going to get the final animated version of chapter 700. I think that's the only chapter of canon that they've decided to hold off on, that they haven't touched. So I think we're going to get it after the wedding, and then after that chapter, we're going to go right into Boruto. It would just make sense for them to do business this way and keep the product going. You know, market-wise, it's a good decision, in my opinion, if they decide to do this. Now, I also want to talk about the Boruto manga, because ever since chapter 10 came out, I've been doing a lot of thinking. Now, I want to go back to the chapter, because the chapter to me, like the first read, was very confusing for a lot of reasons. There's a prophecy there that is very cryptic, but also, you know, Boruto gets the curse mark by the end of it, right? And it's in the shape of a diamond. You see it on his palm. And, you know, rereading the chapter, like, it's obvious that Momoshiki grabs Boruto's hand, and that's how he gets the curse mark. And even Momoshiki says, you can't defeat a god, meaning himself, Momoshiki, and be the same ever again. So he has that mark. But if you actually look back, even before that scene even happens, Boruto's hand is already damaged, all right? So he's holding it. He's like, dang, like that attack really hurt. Like, you know, that thing that I did with the Rasengan, woo, that was like not an easy feat, all right? And so what I thought had happened, I was in between. I thought, okay, what's going on here? Because from the movie, remember, Boruto the movie, like, Boruto actually gets some chakra from Naruto. Naruto says, you know, keep that spinning motion, and Naruto actually injects some chakra into Boruto's hand to make the Rasengan bigger. So what I thought had happened is that because of the blood that he has from Hinata, and Naruto for the first time ever injecting some chakra directly into his son. So what I had thought was that in Naruto giving Boruto some of his chakra directly into his hand, I thought it had kind of like caused some type of a reaction to sort of like awaken some type of Kekkei Genkai within Boruto based off of his Hyuga and Uzumaki lineage. All right, but that's not what happened. It's now very clear to me that I think Momoshiki was the one to give Boruto that diamond curse mark, just like I said in the review. Just like Obito gave Kakashi the Sharingan after he had died. Some type of like post-mortem, after death type of chakra transmission weird thing. So that happens. Also, if you pay attention to the pattern, it's actually a diamond. And, Sakura and Tsunade, the Byakugu seal that they have on their forehead is also a diamond. And once they activate it, we've seen that in action. We know what it can do. It has healing powers and it also amplifies your strength. So maybe that's similar to the one that, Boruto has in his hand. Because it's the same little diamond pattern that we have there. And then if you actually look at chapter 1 of Boruto, we see that Kawaki and Boruto both have actually 4 diamond patterns on their hand. And it's always on the opposite side. So Kawaki has his mark on his left side, and Boruto has it on the right. So it's kind of like with Naruto and Sasuke, kind of, in that they kind of complement each other in a way, at least in that regard. And then finally, there's a piece of Momoshiki's prophecy that says that, those blue eyes, Boruto, will one day take away everything from you. And I thought it was interesting how the chapter kind of ends, and this is how I think the Boruto movie also ends, by Boruto stating that he doesn't want to be like his dad, he wants to be like Sasuke. And Sasuke's journey was a very dark journey. It was a quest for revenge, marked by obtaining new eyes, new powers through these eyes, but with very little regard for, the feelings of others. In fact, so much so that, he wanted to become a murderer. So I'm wondering if that's what Momoshiki meant at one point, that he will be corrupted. If Boruto has that goal of becoming like Sasuke, eventually he has the DNA. He has really good genes, and eventually those genes are going to sort of like manifest themselves. And that's one of the things that he's going to have to fight with. He's going to have this conflict of having a lot of power and possibly being corrupted by it, just like Sasuke was. Obviously, it can't be the exact same story arc as Sasuke's because nobody wants to see the same thing twice. But yeah, I think there's still room to explore a lot of like these internal demons that characters have that kind of like allow them to sort of turn against other people, even though they don't necessarily want to do that. So that'd be cool. And also, if that's the case, it would also make sense why Kawaki resents Boruto so much. And that's another question that I want to ask you guys. Do you think the opening scene of Boruto Chapter 1, do you think that's the beginning of the final fight, or do you think that's how the story is going to open, come Chapter 11? Do you think it's the beginning, or do you think it's like a fast forward into the future and we just got it as a glimpse in terms of what to expect or how the series will eventually reach its climax? That's what I want to know. That's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the review or the video if you did. I appreciate that. I know it seems like I don't really put a lot of work in the videos, but I put a lot of time in them sometimes. So I really appreciate your support, both by liking and subscribing. Tell me your thoughts down below. And yeah, catch you guys later. Bye.